Kirsten from the Cake Making Mum. Today we are going to make a naked cake with fresh flowers. Before I start, I just want to let you know that all of my ingredients and the products that I use have all been bought locally from the supermarket. Really easy to find these products. So the first thing I need to do is, as you can see, there's a little rounded top on my cake. I need to cut that top off and make it nice and flat. So I'm just going to slice with a very sharp knife. Be careful not to cut your fingers on the other side. I'm going to cut that top off and I'm just going to get rid of that. And I'm just going to pop down and make sure it's nice and level. Alright, there we go. So I'm just going to layer my cake. I'm going to cut my cake in half to make 2 layers. So I'm just going to find the center of my cake. And I'm just going to cut through, keeping my knife nice and straight. I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and level. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit off, because we are going to fill it with buttercream. And there you have it. You've got your 2 layers for your naked cake. So now I'm going to put the icing on my cake. So naked cakes are really easy to do because they don't need to be perfect. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take a little bit of icing, pop it on my board, so that my cake sticks. Take my bottom layer, pop it on in the center, and push it down. So I'm going to take some more icing now, and I'm going to fill in between both layers. So it can be really messy, it doesn't need to be perfect. Get it on there. All right, and we're going to pop our next layer on. So you want to make sure that your layers of cake are in line with each other. I'm going to push down. I'm going to make sure that they're level as well. So just push down any higher bits. Alright, so you can see in here there's a few little gaps. That's fine, we're going to fill that up. So I'm going to take some icing and we're just going to push it in the holes. Just chuck a whole bunch of icing on there, spread it all around. So you can make naked cakes any colour that you want. I'm doing mine white because I've got some pink flowers to put on top, but you can colour your icing and make your naked cake a different colour if you like. Alright, so that's all my holes filled. Alright, and I'm just going to pop some icing on the top as well. Make sure that's all covered. All right, so here's the easy bit. We're just going to scrape it off. It doesn't matter if the cake is showing because that's why it's called a naked cake. So I'm just going to scrape around the edge of my cake. Making it nice and smooth. So you don't want all the cake showing. You just want to have little bits of the cake showing, so try not to scrape off too much. We'll just clean up the top. And then we're just going to clean up the board. And that's it, ready for your flowers. So I'm just taking this out of the fridge. I'm just going to do another layer now. This first layer we call our crumb coat, locks in all the crumbs of the cake. If you were up nice and close, you'd be able to see that there's a few little crumbs on the icing here. So I'm just going to take some more icing and I'm just going to go around quickly one more time. Now that the cake's nice and cold, and I'm just going to cover up that coat with the crumbs. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to scrape it back. So it just gives it a nice cleaner finish to the cake. The second coat also fills in any air bubbles that you might have from the first coat. Okay, so a nice gentle scrape just to get off any excess icing. And I'm just going to push a little harder in some spots to reveal the cake underneath. All right, and I'll just clean up those edges again. And there we have it. Now we're ready to cut and put on our fresh flowers. All right, so now we're ready to pop on our fresh flowers. So I'm just going to cut my flowers really short and I'm just going to stick them on top. We can also use some of the leaves. So what I might do first is just find some really nice leaves. Just going to find something like this, and I'm just going to let it sit over the edge. Like that. And I'm just going to cut my flowers really short. Sit it on the top like that. And I'll get another one. So these flowers I just bought just from Coles. So you can use any flowers as long as they're not poisonous flowers, so please check that. So for today I've decided to use fresh flowers. At home I grow succulents, so sometimes I can make a naked cake with succulents on it. You can also just use leaves. When we think of a naked cake, we think rustic, so we want sort of natural sort of products. I'm going to take another flower, and I think I'm just going to pop it just in the side here. And I'll grab a leaf. Stick a leaf in there. And I'll just get one more for the other side. So when you're arranging flowers, there's no specific way to do it. You just look at it, and if it needs another one, then add another one. I'm going to add another one up the top here because it's the top and we want to make it look nice and full up the top. Open up those petals a little bit. And I might just get some leaves and fill in. We've got a little hole here, so I'm just going to pop some leaves in there and fill that hole up. Carefully try not to bump the cake. And there you have it. There is your naked cake with fresh flowers.